Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another video for Use the Stuff. I'm also playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life, Series 12 of sketches, and this sketch here is the one that I'm going to be recreating, and it is by Hannah Panter, and I'm going to change it down to 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to shrink all of these layers down for my photos, or for my page that I've already got planned. I'm reaching the end of 2021, and so most of the pages that I have left are pocket pages and 8.5 by 11s. I found that that's my MO. When I start working on an album, I do all my 12 by 12s first, and then at the end of the album, I end up with the leftovers, the smaller pages. All right, so I rolled a 5 and a 6. First up is a flare. I have these 3 Tim Holtz that I have flattened to make them fit in my album better. Next, I have some, what is it called? Fibers or textiles, which I thought I brought in, but I'm looking for them now and I don't see them. So I'm going to have to pull some in, and I'm going to pull in my favoriteest twine in the whole wide world until I found the fiber that I was looking for. It was attached to my twine. So I'm going to put that in as a representation, but I do have to go get a larger amount for what I want to do. Next up, I have washi tape and embossing folder or embossing powder. So I have a feeling my embossing powder is not going to live in my in my craft room for too much longer, because it's just not my friend. So I went and I pulled out some washi tape. I pulled out a red to match the papers that you will see here in a few, and a brown. I also pulled out this folder, which is a Stampin' Up. I think they called it Subway Tiles, because it's a brick folder. And then I was going to use this brick stencil until my dice told me, hey, go look in your folders. And I think I'm going to like the folder better than I was going to like the stencil. All right. So these are my 2 photos that I have for you guys. I also have a lot of prep work that needs to be done, so this video is a little longer. I thought I was going to use this gorgeous title that was created by Janet Fritz. However, I planned way too much stuff for such a small layout. I have these fragmented pieces from Some Assemblage Required. I absolutely love those pieces and can't wait to see what I put on my page. And this little piece right here from Minte actually sort of matches. So I was pretty stoked about that. And to see if I can't incorporate both of those somehow. I have this little piece here from 49 and Market that was left over from, I think, the Serenity chipboard pieces. Also from Some Assemblage Required. I did a lot of cut files. So these cut files here are from the release in May. And then these, oh my goodness, they've already been painted because they're uber old. They are from February of the first year the shop was open. Yes. I also have these leftover, I don't even know where they came from, leaves and things. And then these sets of leaves are from die cuts from Altenew and Stampin' Up. And then that geometric piece is also from Some Assemblage Required from a couple months ago. I want to say February or March. And then, of course, a 49 and Market film strip that I don't think ends up on this one. So from Basic Gray, again, I have this piece here from the Modifica collection. So it's, you guys, I have no idea. But I want to try to incorporate that piece. From Craft Consortium, I have this gorgeous piece of whatever metal looking paper that was. And from Basic Gray, yeah, I've had these in my stash for gosh knows how long. I don't know, but it's from Times and Season, or Time of the Season. And I'm going to use the stripe and the blue swirl, but I also have the green and that doily on the other side to choose from. And then from Paper Rose, I have this beautiful paper. It is actually from the Blueprint collection. So there it is, and it's paper D. So I'm going to give you a close-up of that if you guys want to go and check that out. I found my Blueprint collection, because you can only buy Paper Rose papers in collections, I find mine on scrapbook.com in case you guys are curious. All right, so I plan on triple matting, but my third mat is going to be this red polka dot washi tape because it actually matches the stripes, and I pulled all my colors from this striped paper. So when you look at it and go, where did you get those colors? It's from the striped paper. So I've got like a teal, a dark blue, a lime green, and then this gorgeous red. And then of course, the off-white in the background. So I'm going to pull those out, and then I'm going to mat my photos on this blue paper. No, I'm not. The blue paper is going to be my 8.5 by 11 background. I lied. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to use this beautiful brown paper to be my top layer. So, and then the red will separate the two. So it'll go brown, red, and blue once I get it all sorted out. Now, one of the things that I am realizing during the Use the Stuff series is that it's taking me a little longer to do layouts than normally I would do to make a layout with, because I grab a collection, everything's in the collection, and there's no prep work. These types of layouts require a lot of prep work. I have to do a lot of die cutting. I don't have to, I choose to because I want to use my stuff, right? But that's what my stuff entails, is that it makes me work a little harder for my supplies. But one of the reasons why I have all those supplies, and this, I know I've said this a couple times before, is because there is going to be a day when I can't buy the die cut packs. There's going to be a day when I can't, the only thing I'll be able to afford is paper. And so I invested in the early years, I invested in the tools. So I invested in the die cuts. I invested in the stencils and the embossing folders. It's okay. Here he goes. Sorry about that. My puppy wanted out. So anyways, I did all that because I know that one of these days I'm going to be limited on what I can purchase, or I'm going to have to be a lot more pickier. And when that day comes, I will definitely dissect a die cut pack and see what I have in dies or stamps before purchasing that die cut pack. Now, I know my stamps are going to become outdated, and I know that, I'm just not going to want to fussy cut the dies out and whatnot. I know that time is going to come. But I don't know. I just am to the point where it's getting expensive. This hobby is getting expensive. And so I have to rethink what, where do I want the expense to go, even though I love the documenting part. Who knew documenting was going to be this expensive? All right, you guys, that is enough of the Serenity. I mean, that was just, can I get some real kind of conversation? So I have created my actual, base page. That took forever and a day. And now I am working on my photos, which I already did. And then this is going to be just another layer, behind my photos, where, like I said, I'm going to be pulling out all of my colors. So far, I love the way it looks. I went over to my die cut machine and went ahead and embossed my my bricks, and now I'm taking my, looks like vintage photo, distress ink, and I'm just going through to get those bricks raised up. And oh my goodness, I love this. Now I do have to work a little harder because I don't think that I had enough pressure on my paper for the other bricks to show through. I just got the main bricks. I should have went just a little bit more of a shim to get that to work, but in the end, I am happy with the way that it looks. So I'm going to cut one of the brick clusters out for you guys. That's what I end up doing for this entire piece of paper, is I fussy cut out what looks like layered brick clusters. And so I'm just cutting out one for you, and then I will end up actually cutting out a bunch. I don't know if I use them all or if I just use a few of the ones that I cut out. But yeah, I do end up cutting a bunch out so I can lay it down, because in Hannah's sketch, she has these pencil lines. And immediately I thought she was trying to draw bricks, immediately. And so that, of course, brought me to the Snake River Canyon Bridge. It just made me think of it. I don't know why. And probably because it has this gorgeous rock wall. For when you walk under the bridge, there's a wall that separates you from the canyon to keep you safe, right? Even though they're not bricks, they are rocks. It had that representation and reminded me of all that good stuff. So I am distressing the edges of my cut lines just to kind of give those bricks a finished look. And then, of course, by this point, I stopped looking at Hannah's sketch because I've got the bare bones, the basicness of her sketch down. And after that, it's kind of my own thing, right? Again, she left it open to the interpretation. She did not put on embellishments, which I absolutely love when I get a sketch that is just, here's your photo, here's how, I would like to see the papers and whatnot. And then, like I said, she kind of added her own little mixed media. But other than that, there was nothing else. And so I got to leave it to my own imagination. And I don't feel like I'm stifled, if that's even a word. So I really like that. All right, prepping again. I am spraying all of my leaves. I tried to spray them before, but I had to clean my nozzle, and then the nozzle just was totally clogged. So I used my alcohol nozzle, which I have a bottle of alcohol. So after I'm done actually spraying with my sprays, I take the alcohol nozzle off and spray my sprays nozzle. Oh my goodness, this is hard to say. Using my alcohol, and then that way that cleans out and the nozzle is clean of whatever gunk is in the spray bottles, if that makes any sense. So I just clean my nozzles because wiping them off has not been working like they used to. So something's different, something's changed with the formulas with the newer sprays, and I don't know if they're because they're acrylic sprays or mica sprays. It's the glitter that's getting stuck. I don't know. I can't see inside to tell you what exactly is getting stuck in the sprays, but the alcohol does help. All right, so this little, I don't know, wreath-ish swag style of embellishment has been in my stash for a little bit. I don't want to say a long time, a little bit. And it just reminded me of, the Greek togas because that's what it looked like, the little leafy thing they wore on their heads. And I just couldn't get that out of my way, out of my head. And so, I'm so sorry. And so I decided to cut it in half because I needed to move on with my life and get out of the Greek toga era of that die cut. And so I'm much more happier now that I can use it in 2 different spots, and it doesn't bother me as much as it did when I had it as a whole. So happy with that. I've got some random vellum pieces from Close to My Heart back in the day. Glad to finally get those used up. And I mean, they're so random that I've used all of the other pieces on other layouts. And so it's when you get down to onesies and twosies where you can't really make a full cluster or they don't match in any other cluster that it becomes hard. But doing a leaf cluster like this where everything is totally random, especially with our, I don't know, they look more like weeds than they are bushes. This works for me because it doesn't matter if it's tropical or brushy, sage brushy or vintage gardeny. It doesn't matter. I just need greenery. And so when I apply all this greenery together in a cluster, they just work really well, whether I only have onesies or twosies. So I really like that. Now I'm going through these cool little washers that were given to me. And I thought that I would spread them around they're just basically, they look like little gears. But I was going to spread them around to make them look like enamel dots. I'm going to add my flare on real quick. Now the flare has absolutely nothing at all to do with the fact that I'm on a bridge overlooking the Snake River Canyon. I mean, nothing. And neither does any of these embellishments. I do say that I wished I would have gone with the smaller fragmented piece as opposed to the clear fragmented piece because it does disappear. However, it's already stuck down on my layout and there's nothing I can do about it. But I just don't like the fact that it kind of disappears in my greenery. I wasn't expecting that until, I'm looking at it right now. So I do also have to say that the video kind of cuts out. I didn't realize that I was running out of memory. So the video does cut out after I am done putting on these gorgeous gears because it does take quite a while. I do fill in all the gears with these micro brads that I found. Who does that? I did not like the micro brads, so I basically scattered them all over this layout, you guys. I used every single one that I owned because I thought to myself, who does that? Those were so tiny. I just could not believe it, but they fit in my little washer holes perfectly and made them look like little flowers coming out of my leaves. So I just thought it was great. A great addition. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I truly appreciate it. Hannah, thank you so much for an amazing sketch. I had a blast. I have 2 links down below for Christy's Beautiful Life Series 12. Don't forget to use your stuff, and please go check out Janet Fritz, who is Galaxy Girl Creations here on YouTube, to see how she is using her stuff today. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.